Hi, Matt with eTrailer, and today we're going to be talking about the Hollywood Destination e-bike rack for two on the 2023 Jeep Gladiator. This bike rack can hold up to two bikes, 78 pounds each, which means it can carry those e-bikes. Another thing to note is 4 strap-down points, and this fourth one up here is making contact with our frames, so unfortunately we won't be able to use any carbon frame bikes, and it'll also be able to carry a lot of other bike shapes and sizes. But we'll talk more about that feature after when I take the bike off. But first, let me show you the tilt back feature. To engage the tilt back feature, we're going to loosen this knob here, and once we've loosened it enough, we'll be able to push this screw back, and then our rack's going to tilt back. It's going to tilt back almost 90 degrees, which is pretty extreme, allowing us access to our tailgate. This is going to be nice if you need to get any additional gear from your vehicle. You look down here, we have plenty of clearance from the back. We still have enough space to open it up completely, too. After when you've got all your gear, you can shut your tailgate and put your bike rack back up. One thing I did notice is this does a great way of dispersing the weight. So pushing this up is super easy right now, which is going to be nice, especially with those heavy e-bikes on it. And now I'm just going to come back over to the screw and twist this handle back on so it's nice and tight. And there we have it. One thing I do like about this rack is that it comes with an included ramp. Now it does go on this back tray here, but since we don't have enough space here, I'll show you how to install it on the other tray. Now we're just going to unscrew this knob here and extend this fully. I'm going to just tighten the knob back down so it stays fully extended. Placing this hole here, right on this knob here, so it stays in place and you'll be able to use your ramp, which is going to be great when you're loading up those heavy e-bikes. Take the bike off. I'm just going to do these straps. I'm going to start with our front ones here. I'm just going to press down on this tab, hear that click, and pull it out. Tuck this away, and do the same thing for the other 3 straps. And on this third one, it'll just be the same process. And now I can go up to our last strap down point. And that's going to be this clip here. All I have to do is make sure I'm holding onto my bike and unscrew. And this will unlatch from your bike. You'll be able to swing that around. Tuck it behind here. And take off your bike and go for a ride. Now that our bike's off, we can take a closer look at these clamps. As you can see here, these do turn around, and they're very adjustable, even sliding on the rack itself. That's going to help to accommodate for a lot of different frames. Another thing down here is these rubber pieces. These rubber pieces actually come off. They're just to help secure these handles. And just do the same thing on this other side. Push that handle down, and you can actually lower this whole mass. Oh. Sometimes it's a little hard to push, but just kind of wiggle it around a little bit and it'll push down to be more compact. And then you can just clamp these down, making it more secure, taking your rubber piece and putting it back to where it was at the beginning. And just do the same thing on the other side. As for how much space this is going to add to your vehicle, if I measure from our back bumper to the end of our bike rack, that's going to add 44 additional inches. So that's a lot of space to add on to the Gladiator. So always be mindful if you're going into any tight garages or tight parking spaces. Another thing to note is how high it sits off the ground. That's going to be 22 inches. So especially if you're lifting up those heavy e-bikes, that's going to be a little bit of a lift to lift up there if you're not using the ramp. And to fold it back up, when you're not using it for the haul bikes, we have this pin and clip. All I have to do is pull this clip out, Then I'm able to pull my pin like so. And once that's pulled out, I can actually lift up, line this hole back up, and plug in our pin and clip again. You might have to adjust it a little bit just to get that right fit. There we have it, and I can clip it back in. With it compacted up like this, it's going to cut down on a lot of space it takes up. So that's now going to be about 19 inches. So that's much better, but always be mindful if you're in any tight spaces. As for how it interacts with your vehicle, it's going to obstruct your license plate and backup cam, only some. You're still going to have a lot of visibility from this big hole here. Another thing to note is your tail lights and back window are going to be completely visible. Taking a look at our 2-inch shank, is going to plug into this 2-inch hitch. And something to note about our shank is we have this stopper here, which just makes it really easy to plug in so you don't have to line up that hole. And that pin and lock core are going to go right through that, just for some additional security with this lock core. And then if we take a look at the very back, we're going to have this anti-rattle device. That's nice too, because all you have to do is turn it, and that means it's going to be a tool-free install. Overall, I think this is going to be a great option, especially if you're hauling all those big, heavy e-bikes, especially with the included ramp that just makes things a lot easier. Now, something I'm not a big fan of is the straps and stuff hanging from it. It just makes it more involved and a little bit more time consuming, but that also keeps those more heavy, big, expensive bikes secured. So overall, I think this is going to be a great option for you if you're looking for that. And that was a look at the Hollywood Destination e-bike rack for 2 on the 2023 Jeep Gladiator.